'Tis the season for some treason, but also for the year in review things that all of the different consoles and, things like YouTube Music and Spotify and all that like to give us. We're going to be focusing today on, and this is in order, we're going to be focusing on the Xbox year in review, and then the PlayStation year in review, the Nintendo year in review, and the Steam year in review. The Steam year in review is the one I'm the most excited for because it has been my main platform for gaming. I would say Xbox has been my second offhand platform for gaming. PlayStation and Switch are going to get a little bit weird because I've barely touched them this year, but we'll look at them all the same, okay? Are you ready? Let's do this. Okay, here we are. For the second year running, my game of the year is Fortnite, which is upsetting. I mean, it's not necessarily. I've played a lot of Fortnite with my friends, and we've had lots of laughs in Fortnite. So that's the only reason this is on here. I don't think I would really be playing Fortnite if it wasn't for my friends, but we're all kind of moving away from Fortnite anyway. We played a bunch of Sea of Thieves earlier in the year, like a few weeks ago, and it was very fun. But anyway, let's have a look at this. I don't know if this is my total gamer score, or just gamer score that I earned this year. I can't remember what my total gamer score is, otherwise I'll be able to tell you, so that's cool. Big Time Brawler. There is no feeling better than winning a huge battle with your friends. That's right, we like to clutch that W. This page is made using my custom colour. It knows I like purple. Hell yeah. 2024 highlights. I've spent 439 hours gaming on Xbox. That's probably a dip compared to last year because I've definitely kind of moved a little bit more back to PC gaming and Steam this year. I don't know what took me so long. I've had this PC for almost 2 years now, or at least over a year. I played 72 games on Xbox. My preferred platform was console. I mean, I know they're trying to do this is an Xbox thing, but I think most people's preferred Xbox platform will be console. I earned 210. Oh, here we go. I earned 4,000 gamer score this year. That's pitiful. That's nothing. And my busiest month was April. What came out in April? What did I play in April? Oh well, I'm sure it'll tell me. What I played, console mostly, a tiny bit of PC, no mobile, and 4 hours of cloud? Really? What did I play on cloud for 4 hours? I have no idea. I'm in the top 10% of players for time played. That makes me feel great. I'm in the top 3% of players for gamerscore? Really? With 4,000 gamerscore earned? Okay. I'm in the top 3% of players for achievements unlocked. That's practically the same statistic. I guess it's just like, it's possible to be hunting rare achievements and therefore that stat's better than that stat. My top games, my number one top played game is Fortnite. I played 179 hours of it. I don't know if that's this year or across the entire time. In fact, we can check. Do we want to check? We can check. Hang on. According to Exophase, I have 622 hours in Fortnite, so yeah, that's just this year then. My lifetime base rating is 1. I don't know what that means. My lifetime missions completed is 6. I get the feeling this is based on the Save the World mode, which is an interesting choice. My lifetime skill points earned is 1, yeah. And the community earned that much gamer score and that many achievements. I'm in the top 15% of this game's most active players. Because I just love Fortnite that much. Up next, we've got The Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Unlimited, which is surprising, because I don't think I've spent that much time in that game this year. Yeah, I've spent 37 hours, which is more than I expected, because I haven't checked out the latest expansion. But I know I played a little bit of it in the first third of this year. I only gained 30 gamer score in it. Lifetime Telvar stones gained. The stats they choose are very strange for this. I unlocked the Scions of Ophelia Scout. Only 0.2% of players unlocked it. That's MMO achievement hunting, baby. It's easy to get rare achievements in MMOs because the vast majority of players have only ever played the vanilla game. You're in the top 15% of the game's most active players. Again, that's kind of surprising based on how little I played it this year. I did play a bunch of Assassin's Creed Valhalla this year, but I think that might have been as the year was turning over. Maybe not. No, I don't think it was actually, because I definitely had a hyperfixation with Vikings and the British Dark Ages. I guess it wasn't really Britain back then, but you know what I mean, the Dark Age era of history this year. I got super into that. So Assassin's Creed Valhalla was part of that, but I've still not completed a playthrough of this game. I'm in the top 20% of this game's most active players. Ooh. That makes me feel nothing. Other favorites. Can we stop this and go back to number? Wait. No. We want to go this way. Why does it stop at number 4? Oh, that's why. Okay, so Trials of Mana, Elder Scrolls Skyrim, that's probably the stream I did in it recently. Bleach Brave Souls, I checked that out when it came. I've played some Valheim with Reese. I've played some Gears of War with Reese. I've recently just started playing Genshin, although I keep forgetting it exists. I checked out the Starfield DLC, didn't get very far through it. Apparently I played Minecraft for Windows at some point. Oh yeah, I did actually, that was kind of recently. I checked out Octopath Traveler 2, didn't get very far in that. I played some Halo the Master Chief Collection, don't remember doing that. I played a decent amount of Dragon Age Origins, I'm surprised that's not higher. I played some Call of Duty Black Ops 6, although that's just going to be Call of Duty on here, because of the way that game is tracked. I had a stint of playing Forza Motorsport this year. I played Persona 3 Reload this year. I've recently been playing Sea of Thieves with friends. I checked out the Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred DLC. Didn't finish that either. I had a decent amount of time playing Forza Horizon 5 this year as well. That all tracks. Oh, here we go. Top games played with friends. That's a nice little... look at that they are. Reese and Molly. That's a nice little... I like that. I'm going to send that to them in a minute. A special shout out from Phil to me. Do we want to watch this?
Hi, Xbox community.
Hi,
As
Phil.
we wrap up 2024, I want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you
That's
for
me.
making this a year to remember.
Thanks, Phil.
Your love for gaming continues to inspire us.
Yeah.
Throughout the year, our community has seen incredible achievements, unforgettable moments, and countless hours of joy and triumph when playing on Xbox.
And record-breaking industry layoffs.
I personally spent a ton of time battling Lilith in Diablo 4 and getting back into Fallout 76 with friends after binging the Amazon TV series.
Wow.
We believe in playing the way you want to play. So whether you are
Thanks, Phil. More games and more stats. It's your year with Game Pass. I guess ESO is technically a Game Pass game, but most of the content within it is purchased, but that's an interesting thing. I've been subscribed the entire year. I sure have. I don't know if I've necessarily got the most out of my subscription this year. Game Pass definitely doesn't feel as good as it used to. I feel like I'm frequently disappointed with game drops, although they did just drop Crash Team Racing finally. I don't know why they're drip feeding us the Activision library. It's really annoying. I've played 14,000 minutes played, thanks, that means nothing. I played 55 games. Cool. I am a rewards user because sometimes I can get £5 for free. That's nice. Cool, that's it. That is my Xbox year in review. And I don't know when Steam are going to release their one, but we will now cut to that whenever I look at that. Okay, remember when I said I wasn't going to bother with the whole PlayStation and Nintendo Switch wrap-ups? I might as well, because I think I looked back over what I'd actually played this year, and I have played not many, but a few games, so it will at the very least be interesting to see what the wrap-ups look like for someone who's barely played on a console this year. So let's go, gamers. In 2024, you played 6 games. Nice! Looks like you like to try a nice variety of games. That's an interestingly structured sentence. You got the party started with a quickness. Is this translated from another language? What the hell is this language? Was this written by AI? I hate that we have to ask that nowadays. From the very start of your PSN account, you've played 93 games? Is that it? I guess that's because they probably aren't tracking PlayStation 3 games and PSP games, actually. because that doesn't seem right. There should be more games than that, for sure. So my first game this year was Wipeout Omega Collection. I very much got into Wipeout this year, starting with Ballistic NG, actually, which is not a Wipeout game, but is an homage to Wipeout, and then I played through literally every Wipeout game, at least all the mainline ones from PlayStation 1, PlayStation Portable, PlayStation 2, and then Wipeout Omega Collection, which has the PS3 ones in and stuff, so there's that. My top 4 games were Wipeout Omega Collection for 5 hours. Wow, look at all the game time I sunk into that bad boy. Whoops. Followed by Ratchet and Clank Size Matters. I was doing some streams in that game on Dimension Jam because they brought it over to PS4. Problem with that game, not a very good Ratchet and Clank game. The difficulty spike is nuts, and then it's Grand Theft Auto 3 and Grand Theft Auto Vice City. These are the original versions. I'm lucky enough to own GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas on PS4, and they're the kind of ported PS2 versions, which of course means that they're got kind of blurry widescreen problems and frame drop problems and all that good stuff, but at least I still own the originals before they delisted them. Funnily enough, I've actually been playing a ton of GTA 3 recently with like the definitive edition and stuff, but not on PS4 and not on PS5 because I do not own a PS5. How do I keep scrolling? Do I click these individually? It looks like there's more. Is there more? Hello? Why is this so scuffed? Oh, it's here. You can't really see it among all the shapes. My gaming style, Speedster. I spent 35% of my game time shifting gears and burning rubber in some real rad races. Hell yeah. Now I want Astro Bot Gran Turismo spin-off. My calendar. Boy, I'm a gamer. This would probably be really interesting if I had more time played in different games, but unfortunately not. PlayStation Plus. Thank you for being a PlayStation Plus member. I'm not, but alright. Now keep it going with these specially picked games based on my play profile. I'm not a PlayStation Plus member. And I know I'm not. This isn't me going, oh shit, I forgot to cancel it. Trust me. I know I'm not. There would probably be a little plus right there if I was. I don't know why they showed me this. Maybe because I have been in the past. This is just advertisements. I've perfected this game on PS3 and PS4. I don't need to do it again. I kind of want to do it again. In 2024, I played 14 hours. I should buy a PS5. I earned a whopping 20 trophies. My lifetime trophy count is 1,778. Very nice. My trophy level increased by an entire 1. That's crazy. And yeah. I mean, I don't think there's much more to see here. There are only so many ways you can, like, spin the data to be interesting with this small of a pool. What a year! Wow, what a great year it's been. Okay, shall we, Oh shit, I better redeem this before other people see. I'm gonna go do a different one on a different day of the year. I'll meet you there. Alright, we finally have... Sorry, it's been like 2 weeks since the last recording. We finally have our Nintendo and Steam year in reviews, so we'll bash out of a Nintendo one real quick because it's not going to be much. I've barely played anything. I'm just curious to see what it's going to say. So we're going to scroll down. I kicked off my year with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. That's wrong. I kicked off my year discovering that a website called Exophase exists, where I might have already shown it off in this video, I can't remember. But basically you can put in all your different profiles, PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, Steam, all that stuff, and then it gives you data on like your time played across all platforms, including, importantly, specific time played on Nintendo Switch games, because that basically you can see your specific time played on Nintendo games using the Exophase website, but it's only the 10 most recent games you've booted up, so that's why I started off with Super Smash Bros. I booted up this game and 9 others to see. I played 14 games and 16 hours this year, so yeah, probably remove like 9 or 10 from that and you'll get the actual thing. But yeah, look, I played these games. Off the top of my head, I can tell you Dragon Quest Monsters is a game I played this year, but I did then go and buy it on Steam instead because it ran like ass on Switch. Very common trend these days. I think I played a little bit of Pokemon Legends Arceus because I've still not 100% completed that game, and that is one of my favorite Pokemon games of all time. And then I probably played something on the Game Boy Advance thing. But yeah, this really hasn't been a year for Switch, so we should really just... Oh, here we go. Yeah, I played some Arceus, I played some Dragon Quest Monsters, and I played a teeny bit of Animal Crossing. So this is all fun stuff. My favorite games are RPGs. That's not a surprise, even with such a small pool. I played the most in March. Yes, thank you for showing me that twice. We don't really need to go through all this because, again, here comes the big choice. What's the big choice? Pick my favorite game of 2024. I mean, sure. It was really more like my favorite game of like 2021 or whenever it came out, but sure, I love that game so much. So yeah, there's me. Let's go to the Steam one because that'll be more interesting. All right, now this is one I've been excited for. Kritigri's Steam Replay 2024. This year, I played a lot of new games and unlocked quite a few new achievements. That's because this platform is my main gaming platform for the year. So let's begin. I have played 63 games, 40 games more than last year, so you can tell I really switched back to Steam this year. I've unlocked 267 achievements. This one is always a boring, yes, how did I play my games? Fascinating. I played a lot of Guild Wars 2. Is that my most played game of the year on Steam? I guess that makes sense. I did sink a lot of time into Guild Wars 2 at the start of this year. I played a lot of Coloring Pixels. So this is a coloring by numbers game, if you know what that means. It's like you get a grid of numbers and 1 is green, 2 is blue, 3 is brown, etc, etc. And basically, I just listened to a lot of audiobooks this year, and it's a fantastic thing to occupy my brain while I'm listening to audiobooks without taking too much attention away from the audiobook. And then Brighter Shores is up here as well, which is nice to see. Played a decent amount of that this year. Obviously, this one actually came out this year, which is nice, in early access anyway, so there's that. How I compare against the rest of the Steam community. Most people earn 13 achievements, I earned 267, standard. Most people play 4 games, I played 63, standard. I feel like medians like this, when the platform is this big, is a little, it's always going to be skewed because there's always going to be people like me last year who don't use Steam as their main platform anymore, and then come back another time. My longest streak was 12 days, that surprises me, I thought it would be more. 27% of what I played were new releases. Cool. 19% were classic games. I do like old games, I gotta say. Old media in general. I love going back and re-experiencing old media, no matter what it is. Games, shows, movies, that kind of thing. 54% recent favorites. Percentage of playtime I had in releases from the last 1 to 7 years. Okay. I mostly play MMORPGs, JRPGs. Yep, that's no big surprise. Racing's on there too. Warhammer 40k is its own genre on this chart. That's hilarious. I think I only played one Warhammer 40k game, so it's interesting how they've done that. There's some more things. A closer look at my top played games. I thought that said you were really still into this game in 2024. I was like, okay, that's a little bit judgmental. It wasn't the start of this year, it was August and September. Okay, my memory is on the way out, everyone, pray for me. Coloring Pixels, September, this is when I finished The Wheel of Time. Brighter Shores, November, that's pretty much when it came out, and that looks bad because that looks like a massive drop-off. That's just my attention span. It's not really an indictment on the game itself. I just always wander off. I always wander off, and that's why I have so many different fucking games in these things. No Man's Sky, I did play a lot of No Man's Sky this year as well, around July and August, and a teensy bit in October. I really wanted the expedition ship that they were doing for Halloween, but there were so many Halloween limited time events in various games that wanted my attention, so there's that. Star Wars The Old Republic, I forgot I played some of this year, but that was in May, probably because they had a double XP event on for May the 4th be with you, and I went sure, and I think I started up a Commando character, even though I haven't finished my Sith Inquisitor character yet. I love my Sith Inquisitor character, I should really finish her story, she's great. Mayra Moore, one of my favourite MMO characters I've ever made in a game. And that's partially because Star Wars The Old Republic does such a good job of characterizing your character compared to other MMORPGs. My playtime by month. That's cool. we're not going to spend too long on this because we could get lost in the source forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. But yeah, as you can see, December's been a pretty varied month for me. 46. Yeah, okay, that's great. Don't care. My longest daily streak was this. Cool. Okay, so this is always fun. The timeline view of games I played this year. We can take kind of a swift macro view of what I played, and then I can pour back over this in a little bit more detail off video. But in January, I very much was finishing up my Final Fantasy 1 playthrough, and I played, I think, the entirety. Oh, not the entirety. I played a whole bunch of Final Fantasy 2 January and February to finish it. I don't know why Final Fantasy... Oh, that's free. Okay, and then I started up free, and I had a lot of issues with free, and that's why I have not finished free. Either way, I also discovered that Ballance had come to Steam, so I played that. I played some Divinity Original Sin with Reese and by myself. I still really want to finish this game and then get onto Divinity Original Sin 2 and then Baldur's Gate 3. Last year I played a little bit of Baldur's Gate 3 and I kind of put it down. And then when I went to get back to it, I was like, I want to play Divinity first because I am a self-saboteur if nothing else. Got really into Dragon Quest Builders. I've already played this game a little bit on Switch, but it came to PC in February, I believe. And the only reason I never finished that game is because I think I'm in the second or third zone. I think there are 4 zones in the game. I'm in a swamp zone. I can't remember if it's the second or the third zone. And I've got a bunch of quest markers, and none of them lead anywhere. Like, it's almost like they're on a different island I need to unlock a teleportal to get to, but I've got no way of unlocking a new teleportal to get to them, and I've only just unlocked a new island, but none of my objectives are there, and it got really frustrating, and I just gave up. I also played some Enshrouded. I didn't play a huge amount of that. I want to get back to it when it's had more updates, but that's a really cool survival crafting game. I also played some Planet Crafter. I had the survival crafting bug, I guess, and I was still trying to... I was like, I gotta finish Final Fantasy 3, and I never did. You're gonna see something funny when we get to December in that regard. I also, finally, played a decent chunk of Civilization 5, because I've always wanted to learn how to play that game. And I think I've got the basics down now, and I had a really fun time. I didn't finish my campaign or whatever, but I did get... I would say probably about halfway through the timeline, and it's so fun. Turns out Civilization 5 is hugely popular for a reason. I couldn't really get into Wildermyth. I refunded that, I think. I love Marble It Up Ultra. I have it on Switch. There is a big theme this year, I'm realizing. Switch games that I bought on Steam. Yeah, Marble It Up Ultra. Well, I think it had already been on Steam for a while, but it just got this big Ultra update, I think, this year. And so I was like, oh, fine. I'll pick it up on Steam and play it there. Give them a little bit more of a monetary reward for making this game. It's a wonderful little indie game that's a throwback to Marble Blast back in the day, which I played a multiplayer version of on a website called Instant Action. So there's some fun niche little information for you there. Also, this is when I got back into SWTOR this year. I basically mainlined this game in May, it seems. BeamNG... Not BeamNG, that's a different game, sorry. Ballistic NG. This here kicked off a bunch of stuff you're not going to see in the rest of the timeline, but this is basically a retro Wipeout style game. And it got me to play through the entire Wipeout series. You can see my thoughts on them through the weekly waypoint. But yeah, I then went on to play Wipeout, Wipeout XL, or Wipeout 2097, or whatever you want to call it. Wipeout Free, Wipeout Pure, Wipeout Pulse, Wipeout Omega Collection, all that stuff. I also discovered that Revolt is now on Steam. That game is so hard to control. I grew up with its spiritual successor, RC Revenge, and I really hope that makes its way to Steam one day, but I am not holding my breath. But RC Revenge is one of my favourite games of all time. And just thinking about it makes me want to play it. Also, Dragon Quest XI, I think I played the Switch demo version of this, which gives you a lot of time, and then I played it on Game Pass when it came to Game Pass. But I've never owned this game, so I finally just bought it on Steam when it was on sale and played a decent chunk of it. I need to get back to it. Sorry, this is going to be an interlude from later. I've just realised I was missing this show more button on a bunch of these that are coming up. So I also played in June. I picked up Assetto Corsa for like 90p. I can't get to grips for that game. Played more SWTOR. Also picked up Grip Combat Racing, which I do own on PS4, but again, it was super cheap. I've got a bad habit of just buying games on multiple platforms, or maybe a good habit because I'm supporting indie developers. Guild Wars 2, that's when I got back into Guild Wars 2, as you can see in August as well. There's a game called Wayfinder, which is a really fun kind of... It's like a gacha game in the style of Genshin Impact, where the gameplay is really good, but this is like an offline single-player, no microtransactions version of that game, because the original version of Wayfinder, which was like a traditional gacha game in that way, failed, so they kind of retrofitted it in a really weird way to be a single player, just action adventure RPG kind of game. I want to play more of that as well because that was really cool. I also played some more Guild Wars 1, played some EverQuest 2, played some Rift. This was also a month when I started getting into like older MMOs that I wanted to check out. I've played Guild Wars 1 before though. Also Final Fantasy X. I started up I bought this and I started up a save file in there, and that was fun. For the additional games I forgot to mention in July, Grip is back. Oh, okay, so something I didn't emphasize is I was really on an MMORPG crawl, and that included Adventure Quest 3D, Dungeons and Dragons Online, which I really liked. I booted it up and it was a bit weird with installing, so I didn't do much. I also tried Path of Exile for like the third time and I still didn't like it. I also played a little bit of Warframe. I don't know if I mentioned that. I don't think I did. Oh my god, we're only in August. Okay, I bought a bundle with Pathfinder, Neverwinter Nights, Baldur's Gate, all these old kind of, I believe they're called like CRPGs, games that I've always kind of looked at when they've gone on sale and gone, but it was a humble bundle and they were all together, and I was like, yes, I was so excited to own them all, so that's cool. Doom and Doom 2, I don't know why that's not showing up as first played, because that was a new release version of these games, but it gave it to me for free because I already had Doom 1 on here, I want to say, so I didn't have to play the Game Pass version, I could just play that on Steam, that was cool. Coloring Pixels, we've already talked about. The Crew Motorfest I picked up in September. I actually picked it up on Xbox first, but on Series S it runs at 30 frames a second, so I refunded that shit and got it on Steam instead because it was on sale for the same price. This is a really good racing game. I've talked about this in the Weekly Waypoint before as well. But it's really good. It does throw away its main gimmick of like having this massive open world to explore in terms of like the entirety of America, but as far as Forza Horizon clones goes, this is like maybe 90% as good as Forza Horizon, honestly. So if you don't have an Xbox and you want to play Forza Horizon, I do recommend the Crew Motorfest, even though it is a bit shameless in some ways. Horizon Zero Dawn, I grabbed this on deep discount and I played a little bit of it on PS4, and I was like, this was years ago, and I was like, I do have a thing for these like super far-flung post-apocalyptic future games. Or worlds, sorry, and yeah, I need to play more of that. Warhammer 40k Inquisitor Martyr, basically Warhammer 40k Diablo 3. I did like this game, but it does control a little stiffly, and that did ultimately, as well as like, it's like 70 gigabytes, and it loads up really slowly, and a whole bunch of other things that kind of drove me away a little bit, but yeah. The other games I forgot to mention for September are just more Worms games. Yeah, nothing very exciting. Coromon is a really fun Pokemon-style game. I recommend it. I need to play more of it. And then, of course, Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake came out. I actually refunded the Etrian Odyssey games because they draw more on the original DS versions, whereas I already have the 3DS versions, which I thought these would be a bit more like. The 3DS versions had a bit more story and stuff, so I actually ended up being like, this is cool, and I might get it again in future, and I'm glad it's on Steam, but it wasn't quite what I was expecting. But yeah, Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake, of course, I love Dragon Quest. I wouldn't say I need to play more of that because I'm still revisiting it fairly often. I wouldn't say I've given up on it yet in terms of attention span. But yeah, Dragon Quest III HD 2D. Then I discovered Live Alive was on Steam, which absolutely shocked me because it's a game I've been wanting since I first saw it announced in a Nintendo Direct. It was not only on Steam, but it was also £16. Also, Brighter Shores came out in November, obviously. And then it's been a bit of a varied month for me because of a few things. First of all, the Jingle Jam, sorry, not the Humble Bundle, the Jingle Jam charity games bundle I picked up, so I got Shadows of Doubt as part of that. Yeah, there's actually a few more in here. I also got For the King 2 in that, and a few other things which I've yet to play. Also, the GTA Definitive Edition games finally got patched to be good, so I finally picked those up on the Steam sale. I also picked up a little indie tycoon game called Mega Aquarium, which I've kind of only just checked out, but I'm glad I own it. I'm not going to refund it. I tried Final Fantasy 3 again, and then it's not showing up here, sadly, because they must have generated this, like, after the fact, or before the fact, sorry. But I am now playing the 3D remake version of Final Fantasy 3, which I have owned for a long time but never really played. I don't know if it's going to fix what I find wrong with Final Fantasy 3, but I am enjoying it a little bit more because it's got more characterization and story in it. Also, Melva Idol I did end up refunding, because while this is a really cool idle game version of RuneScape, basically, it has absolutely no sound in it. No button click noises, no music, nothing like that. And for some reason that really upsets my brain, so I just couldn't stand it. Shadows of Doubt I've wanted to play for a very long time. Marvel Rivals I ended up playing on Xbox just because it worked out better for me, but also I have just recently uninstalled it. It's a really good Overwatch style game, I just don't know if I need another Overwatch style game in my life. And yeah, that's pretty much all I want to talk about there. Blimey. Wait, I have a 2022 replay page? I need to check that out later. That's funny. I haven't looked at that before. I do have a spreadsheet where I put some stuff about this. But anyway, yeah, that's my Steam replay page. That's all my year in review pages. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you found it interesting. Obviously, I'm going to be the person who finds it the most interesting because it's my gaming habits and stuff. But I do like hearing about other people's, so hopefully there are other people who also like hearing about other people's. I'm gonna rest my voice now and edit this, I guess. I'll catch you in whatever I make next.